Alright, so perhaps we can just take a moment to notice how we feel. And just breathe in and out easily or deeply if you feel like having a sigh, a really big, beautiful, juicy sigh. You can breathe in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth if that's enjoyable. The invitation here is to simply be, just openness to whatever is appearing to happen. Slowing down any cogs that might be turning quickly in the body-mind system. Slowing down. Eyes are open or closed, doesn't matter really that much. If you're comfortable where you are, you might like to close the eyes just to give that visual cortex a little break. Finding a comfortable seated position, or even lying down if you want to. Nothing to be done here, just this. Just settling in. Settling in more and more deeply. Nothing to be done, nowhere to be going, nothing to be achieving, just naturally whatever appears to be happening. Any thoughts or sensations that may be coming up, turning around, turning up, however it's showing up, it just is what it is. Again, at any point, if it feels natural and intuitive, you can just allow for a beautiful sigh to come out through the mouth. Or you might prefer to blow that air. Or you might yawn even. You might even vocalize or make some noise. That might happen too. Just the naturalness and the spontaneity of whatever is arising. There's nothing in the way. Alright, so what we're going to do here is just, perhaps if you're up for it, is just introduce very slow, gentle, intuitive movements. So this might want to be slow to begin with, or you might quite like to start big movements, but there's no right or wrong way. But perhaps the body just wants to find some little gestures. Have a full-blown exhalation. Enjoy. Yeah, that's nice. You might like to rock and sway from side to side, or make some circles. You might twist or bend. You might fold forwards. It's just lovely to allow for an intuitive, improvisational flow of fluid movements. The hands can rest wherever they want to be. You might hold on to the knees if you're liking this sort of circular motion, or maybe onto the shins. Oh, very good, nice. Enjoy it. If you're enjoying a particular movement, you can switch directions at any point. It can become playful and fun. Yeah. This one's nice. Sometimes called Sufi circles, where you make a stirring the pot kind of motion with the spinal cord. And you can change the shape of the arms as well, and flex and extend through the elbows and the shoulders. Oh. So wherever you are, just enjoy the fluid movements. No conscious thinking or control involved here, it's just what's happening. You can always copy me if you don't know, if you're feeling like a little bit of following something. And just keep on going if you have got your own thing going on. This one's quite nice, just seem to have made it up now. That's where we bow to the ground with our fingertips pressed down on one side. It's just very playful expressions happening throughout the whole body right now. And it's not needing to think about it, it's just effortlessly finding its own rhythm of movement and expression. Yeah, nice. Okay. Maybe we can work our way into a spinal twist if you like. This is all suggestion, of course. So a spinal twist is very nice cross-legged, but kneeling is okay too. Or if you fancy more versatility, you can even take the slightly more advanced option where you tuck one foot underneath and the other one comes in front. The calf overlaps the other leg like this. It's just another option, you don't have to. If you are in this version, you might like to hang it there for several breaths. If it's the right knee on top, then it's the left arm hooking across like this and giving it a good hug, hugging the thigh into the abdomen. This is a really nice twist, but it's also a nice stretch along the glutes and the hips here. Take a nice deep breath wherever you are. Enjoy that breath out. And then when you come out, maybe you could give the floor a little bow again, and what you do here is you unwind and you press the fingers and thumbs to the ground and gently bow the head to the earth. So again, that's just an option, and then if you want, if you've done that side, we can switch sides. So one foot comes underneath and the hip rests gently under. And this foot comes across. And you're hugging the knee with the opposite arm. So if it's the left knee up, it's the right arm hugging. Or vice versa. Really exhale, breathe, enjoy. Utilize that breath, inviting it to soften muscles and joints, glands, organs. Seems to be slightly more dynamic today. I didn't know that was going to happen. I mean, it's still very restorative, of course. This is about as dynamic as it gets, it would seem. Make sure the shoulders aren't tensing up here. We don't want to be straining anything. And whenever you're ready, just feel free to come out of that posture, and then if you were looking over the left shoulder, you're going to come over to the right side, or if you were looking over the right shoulder, you're going to come over to the left side. And you're going to claw those fingers to the ground and bow the head down. Lovely. Alright. Maybe we can just give Sufi circles another go if you like, or you can try something else out. It's up to you. These are all just suggestions. You don't have to follow anything at all. You could even just enjoy the sound of the voice and just go into whatever the body needs or wants to do. If you are doing Sufi circles or anything similar, maybe it's knees into the chest, you can enjoy this flexion and extension into the hips, the psoas muscles. Sufi circles or stirring the pot. All right, nice. Maybe that movement just slowly slows down and makes its way back to the center. Okay, we're going to interlace our fingers now, and we're going to press the palms away. And as we do this, it's kind of a seated cat and cow. So as you press the palms away, you're going to extend through the elbows and the wrists, and you're going to lean that chin to the chest. The tailbone's going to roll slightly under. We're going to lean slightly back and get a really lovely stretch across the back body here. And then as we inhale, we're going to do the opposite on the spine. So we're reaching the arms up as comfortably as they will allow for, palms pressing towards the ceiling or the sky, looking slightly up, shoulders as relaxed as possible, and then exhale, roll it down again. Nice. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, coming down. Your pace and your breath. flexing and extending through the spinal cord, through the torso, both sides. Really enjoying that breath. Imagine when you exhale, you're just like squishing gently into the abdominals and the internal organs there. Gently squeezing out any stale air. You can slow it down or speed it up depending on how the body is feeling right now. Wherever you are, enjoy. Maybe one more of these in your own time. When you next come up, we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale and spread the fingers wide. Okay, and then we're going to reach your right arm, your right, so I might not be mirroring you right now, but your right arm is going to come over and it's going to place on the ground. So your right arm comes down, left arm comes up, and you're going to lean over to the right side. We do the right side first for the sake of the digestive system. Nice lateral stretch here, very simple. Stimulating the digestive system, the ascending colon first. We want ideally for both hips to be equally planted on the ground. If you want, you can inhale up and exhale down again. Or you might prefer to just hold it still, up to you. You might even like to bring this left arm down and roll through a little bit. And switching sides, gently, gently. From right side to left side, now stimulating the descending colon. Hips evenly planted. So either just hang on it still, or you can add a bit of fluid movement there. We might even bring that little finger to the ground and twist a little through the spine. And coming back. Okay. Feel inclined to do a bit of a forward fold now, so I'm going to give you a few options here. You can do a seated forward fold with your legs out in front. This is possibly the most dynamic version, Paschimottanasana. It's quite intense, so just be gentle if you want to do that version. You might want to bend your knees if you do choose to do this version. The alternative, or one alternative, is doing it cross-legged, and you just lean gently onto the forearms. And the head comes down. Maybe the head rests on the mat or the hands. Another option is child's pose, where you bring the feet back, hips on the heels. This is my favourite option, child's pose. Different options, so just find an option that you like. Child's pose is actually my favourite asana of all time. And another option is rolling onto your back and bringing the knees into the chest. So just find whatever you want to do. You could even do all four if you like. I'm just going to sit here and say a few words. So enjoy, find that sweet spot of bathing in an enjoyable posture. Whether it's child's pose, seated forward fold, knees into chest. Each one will have slightly different benefits, physiological benefits. Enjoy. Enjoy. You can breathe into those muscles. Imagine you could breathe into the spine, into the back of the spine and the back of the body. So we're here for a few 2 to 3 minutes maybe if you like, so you can switch posture if you really want to. If you've enjoyed the fair share of the one you've chosen, you can move on to a different one. And the breath is finding its way of expressing itself with lightness and ease. If you are on your back with your knees into your chest, you might like to extend into happy baby pose, where you take the outside edges of the feet and the soles of the feet towards the ceiling or the sky. Just playing, the body is playing. The body is playing, playfully. It's just the play of, of movements and stretches, it's all playful. It's easy, it's relaxed. Just enjoying the various movements that are taking place for the body right now, whatever shape the body appears to be in. And for the last 3 to 5 breaths of wherever you are, whatever shape you're in, I'm going to invite you to give a beautiful big ha breath, alright? So enjoy it. You can do it as loudly as you like. So on that next inhalation, if you haven't already, it's going to be followed by a beautiful big ha. That's right. Another one, another 4 perhaps, if you're enjoying it. Deep breath in. Really activating in the heart space and the lungs. Really inviting the diaphragm to fully express itself through that beautiful ha breath. Yes. Very nice. Enjoy. So whenever we're ready, we're going to make our way back up to a seated position, and we're going to do variation of Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. So we're just going to be very gentle with this, but we're going to bring one foot to the inside of the inner leg. Okay? So it's not underneath the leg, it's pressing into the groin muscles here. And you can choose your own version of this. You can just do the usual thing here, which you can hold on to the feet, but do relax the shoulders as much as possible. You can relax your hands on the shins if you don't want to stretch the calf and the hamstrings too intensely. Or you could do more of a side thing, like this, if it feels comfortable. Get a nice stretch on the side. Or you could even hold the outside edge of that foot with the opposite arm. You can try different versions. Wherever you are, enjoy it. Just breathe. Don't push or press anything too hard. Just enjoy. Breathe and relax those shoulders. Again, this is all optional and invitational. Wherever you are, just find that breath fluidly flowing through the tissues. Imagine that with each breath, every single muscle group is invited and allowed to relax. Whenever you want to come out, you can go straight into a twist where you rest the hand on the bent knee and look over that shoulder. Be extremely gentle when you transition from one posture to another. And you could even do a slight variation of the pigeon where you come down again. And if you like, you can go from one side to the other. You can twist and move again in a fluid kind of way, and then you can come over to the leg again, a bit of a dance. But there's no pushing anything here, there's no forcing anything to stretch too dynamically. I think that's clear. Got this lovely fluidity into the hips. It's a dance. It's a dance. And then perhaps we can switch sides if you haven't already. So again, you can play with different versions, but if you remember what you did on the other side, I invite you to mimic, do the same thing, just so we're not stretching one muscle group on one side and not the other. So it's good to do the same thing as you did on the other side. So it could be the usual traditional Janu Sirsasana, in which the hips are aligned and we come down, hold the feet or the shins, the ankles maybe. Or you can do something a little bit more twisty or bendy. Enjoying the fluid movements through the whole body. Hey. It's lovely when the breath gets really, really vocal and free in its expression. Nice, very nice. Very nice. I love it. It's great. That's just yummy, delicious stretching and movements. Whenever you're ready, we can just come back again one more time before relaxing. I'm going to invite us to give ourselves a little massage. So as you may have noticed, there's different things going on in these sessions. It's not really strictly a yoga session or a qigong session or any kind of session, but that's why it's kind of wonderful in its own unique way, because massage is now coming in. Because we stretched or potentially stretched the hamstrings and the calves there, I'm just going to invite us to give them a bit of a squeeze. Especially the hamstrings. It's really nice just to get the fingers in there and really just feel the flesh, and you know, inviting those strings to kind of soften and loosen up a bit. And the calves, these big juicy muscles that serve us all the time, a lot of the time. Just give it, and it's nice also just to simply connect to the tactile perception. The body is engaging with itself in a tactile way, and this might be quite rare for the body to do to itself or for itself. So it's quite nice to step out of the usual visual and auditory stimulation and come into the tactile stimulation. The perception of touch. So we can just squeeze those muscles, enjoy. If you found some tension somewhere, you might just like to get in there a little bit and breathe, relax the shoulders. And if you haven't already, you can move on to the feet and give yourself a little bit of reflexology. I love doing this during a yoga session because it's just really, really nice, but this is also an asana, of course. We're in bound angle, incidentally. You don't have to force the spine to be long here, it's alright. Just getting a nice hip opener whilst also simultaneously massaging the feet. It's really yummy. Okay, so maybe we can just do one last posture before we relax together. So I'm going to invite us to bring our knees together and just give ourselves a lovely big hug. So we're going to bring the knees and hug the arms around the knees or the shins further down, but again just notice the tendency for the shoulders to tense up and see if we can prevent that. Spine is as long as can be, but if you like, you can rest the forehead on the knees. So these kinds of postures are very yin oriented. I would like to think that these kinds of postures will activate the parasympathetic nervous system because they are protective, they are restorative, and they are fetal. They're like fetal positions where the body is curling up into a lovely warm cozy ball. It's a restful pose. It's inviting the body to move more into that rest and digest mode. And then whenever you're ready, you can just let that go and find a nice, lovely, yummy lying down pose. Unless you would really prefer to stay seated, which of course is fine. But if you're comfortable and happy with it, you can begin to lie down. Just getting into that lovely, warm, cozy nest. Any exhalations that might want to happen here are more than welcome. Fully encouraged to really drop in, as it were. Nothing to be done, no progress to be made, no effort required, just total ease and relaxation spreading throughout every single tissue, every fibre, every ligament and joint, all the tendons, the major and the minor muscle groups, all invited to relax and soften. Nothing to be done, nothing to be undone, just resting, effortless resting. No direction, no destination, just the all-readiness of sensation and vibration. And sensation can open up into different parts of the body now, such as the forehead or the temples. Sensation weaving its way through the face and the scalp. Any places that might be lingering in tension or aches or stress. Just imagine that could just really fade. Just a fading of any unnecessary tightness. And the whole of the head and the face is radiant in sensation and yet totally relaxed. Sensation is radiant and relaxed in the jaw and the neck, sides of the neck, throat, back of the neck. And sensation is radiant and relaxed across the shoulders and the shoulder blades, the trapezius, as well as the chest. And sensation is radiant and relaxed down the arms and the hands. Fingertips, vibrant, vital, and relaxed. And vitality and vibrancy open in the chest and the back and the belly and the sacrum and the hips and the pelvic bowl and the pelvic floor. Easy. And rest and relaxation is open into the legs, the knees, the ankles, the heels and the feet, the soles of the feet. And sensation and vibration spreading throughout the whole body, radiant and alive, and yet rested and relaxed. Easy. 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 And whenever the body is ready, you can just start to feel that aliveness and that vibrancy move through the body. And the body might start to awaken itself through little movements and gestures, little by little, slowly transitioning. Slowly transitioning out of a yin state of rest and digest. Take your time, and then as and when the body is ready, it will just find its way to move and stretch or roll over or curl up. So, thank you so much for joining this Yochini session once again. If you're watching the recording, share with your friends. I do these sessions each week, and there's actually a special Yochini session happening on Saturday and Sunday at about 10:30, I think, 10:30 a.m. in GMT. So it's a little bit early for the US, but they will be recorded as well. May you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and much love. See you soon.